So Bethesda just posted an interesting topic out on Reddit, and this is official, of course. And this topic is basically going to be discussing what they plan to do based on our feedback, our biggest complaints with the game, including that storage issue with stash and the like, and further, updates to the game as a whole. A lot of stuff to go over with this one. Then I'm going to go over a really interesting find about stash, how to manage your inventory and stash, how to make life a little bit easier in the Wasteland. But welcome back, my fellow Vault Dwellers and Wasteland Wonders, to Open World Games. Remember, if you are new, welcome, welcome. Be sure to smack that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification icon, and follow me for daily streams out on Facebook.com/openworldvideogames. Would love to see you guys out there. Drop in and say hello. But, yeah, let us begin with, what Bethesda has to say here. But also a reminder, just in case if you forgot, the final beta times are going to be November 8th, beta time I should say, 2 p.m. through 8 p.m. Eastern time. And a lot of you guys were wondering if we would be getting any more time after that. It was confirmed by Pete Hines out on Twitter. No, Thursday is the last day of the beta. Team needs the time in between to get the game ready for next week's launch. So there you have it. November 8th is going to be the final beta date. And then the release after that. Alright, so let's go over Bethesda's interesting topic out here. They go on to say this: beta thank you and addressing your feedback. Hi all, we'd like to extend our sincerest thanks to everyone who played the Fallout 76 beta. The stories you've been sharing, the feedback you've provided, and the issues you've made us aware of have been appreciated along this journey. We've been reading everyone's comments and wanted to share some of what we will be addressing on or at close to launch, and what we're investigating post-launch. We encourage you to keep sharing it with us, whether that's on Reddit, social channels like Twitter and Facebook, and our official forums. Thank you again for your continued support. Now, they're going to talk about what they're going to be changing here. And the big one is larger stash size. They go on to say this: we've seen this one come up a lot and understand the frustration. While the stash size is at 400 weight limit can get easier to deal with over time, we do plan on increasing it in the future. I honestly think it gets tougher to deal with, just my opinion, over time. So I think they should definitely address that big time and up that stash limit quite a bit. I'm curious to see why the stash limit is the way it is in the first place, and hopefully they really up that, like, big time, because that's what we need. All right, next up we have the FOV slider, and this has been a big complaint. It says, we haven't supported FOV sliders in our previous games as it is known to break a lot of animations and causes a lot of clipping to occur on screen. You do have the option to zoom out in third person on PC by holding view and moving the mouse wheel, but we won't be able to have it for first person view. So there's that answer on that one. Let me know what you guys make of the FOV slider, if you really need it, or if you're like, I really don't care about an FOV slider. It's not that super important to me. Yeah, get to posting. All right, next up we have ultra wide support. Says we will support 21:9 post launch. Once available or shortly before, we'll be sure to post our patch notes that let you know when to expect it. I'm not on ultra wide. I'm good to go. I'm happy camper over here, but some of you may be on ultra wide and need that problem addressed immediately. So next up it says push to talk. Now this is an issue. They say, while we aim to create a consistent experience no matter what platform you're on, we understand that some of you on PC would like the option for push to talk. Our goal with voice chat being on by default is to highlight that the world is alive with real people, other players like you. We'd like to start with encouraging player interaction, and we'll look into adding this in the future. I haven't had an issue with this at all, simply because we usually go to the option of team-only chat. So I don't know if that's what you guys do, or if you keep it on to where randoms can just come up to you and say something. But usually I'm just team-only chat for now. So let me know what you guys actually do. But it is cool when you meet a random and you actually start playing with them. That is a ton of fun, and then you end up playing with them for hours. That's something I did on the Xbox One beta, and that was a blast. Next up, we have issues with social media and inviting friends, making teams, etc. It says those who are experiencing issues with the social components, we'll find that many of these issues have been fixed. We will continue to fix issues as they arise as fast as we're able to, so keep letting us know when you run into them. Now, my personal experience with the betas, I'm having an issue with my buddy Silver. We can't get the friends list to work. It's like I try to add him as a friend, he tries to add me, and we never are able to add each other as a friend. I have no idea why. It's just between me and him. But it's the weirdest thing. We only mute block each other. Many times we cannot see each other on the map. So I really hope they iron out that issue, because right now it's a pain in the butt, because we were playing alone without any buddies, and we couldn't have, our buddy invite him to the server. That was one of the ways we got around it. So whenever we're like grouping up as duos, we really can't. So hopefully they get that fixed as soon as possible. But yeah, I've noticed some really good progress with my beta time on PC, especially with my performance on my PC. So that was really cool to see that change happening over time. That's what I was looking for. And if it wasn't going to happen with the beta, honestly, I was going to be like really worried about this game. But anyway, moving on. It says exploits of various types. It says many exploits we've seen reported have been known and will be addressed in a future update. And there's been some articles going around also about how severe some of these exploits actually are. It's definitely something that Bethesda has been tuned into now, and they are very aware of it. So yeah, we don't want too many exploits. honestly, my personal playstyle is I avoid exploits. I avoid jumping servers and stuff like that. Maybe you run into an emergency situation where you absolutely have to do that. Maybe I can see that happening if there's an issue or an error forces you to do that, and you have to loot a certain item to move on. But I don't really like exploits. That's just my opinion. Let me know how you guys like to play the game, if you like to play it like a pure experience where you are, basically going through it and finding stuff on your own stuff. All right, next one says this: loud gunshots noises. We actually had this issue. King Flippy was really complaining about it. It says, the issue of players hearing sudden random gunshot loud sounds around Appalachia will be addressed in a future update near launch. Good news. That's nice to know that fix is incoming as well. So yeah, let's talk about the stash and storage right now. So here's some very important tips on how to alleviate some of those stresses related to managing your storage. So this comes from Ab Kramer, who says, learning the difference between good junk and, well, junk. He says the following, goes on to say, I've seen many people talk about scrapping junk before you stash it, which does save a ton of space in crafting bulk, which I'm not sure saves on weight. Actually, anybody have more info? These methods are fine, but eventually, of course, you will hit the stash limit. He goes on to say this: then it hit me in my Pip-Boy inventory under junk. One of the hotkeys in the legend says component mode. This will show you your junk as if it's already scrapped, and base materials. Here, you can mark certain components for search, and it'll add a little magnifying glass icon next to it. When you then come across junk that contains those components in the world, you'll see the little icon and know that item is worth taking. Now, it further goes on to say this: I know the workbenches have a mark for search feature, but when you mark something from a workbench, it only marks what you don't have. So I pulled all my junk from my stash, went into component mode, and started marking anything I thought was relatively rare, either relying on my Fallout 4 experience or simply based on how many I had compared to the rest of the junk. I didn't just mark one or two things, but a whole bunch. Then he says, so now I know if there isn't a magnifying glass. So I pulled all my junk from my stash, went into component mode, and started marking anything I thought was relatively rare, either relying on my Fallout scrapping. And then he goes on to say, another thing I've committed to is, besides scrapping every weapon I don't use, I'm scrapping every weapon I don't intend to take any does X% more damage perks for. So shotgun may be nice and strong, but if you're not investing in strength, it's just a temporary thing. Scrap it all, sell it, trade off the ammo. Very good point. I have really hyper-focused on upgrading only a couple weapons, that I will really be focused on Shotgun actually being one of the things that I'm focusing on, so I need to put more points in strength. Definitely. It says in the aid category, use it or sell it. If it's not a stim pack or Kim with a buff that directly fits your intended build, get rid of it. Explosives intended for killing things, not taking up space. Basically, it's nice to keep everything forever, but it's looking like that won't be possible this time around, so you're going to have to focus. All very excellent points. You know, I realized how much my aid actually took up in my inventory. It's crazy how much med packs actually can take up in the game. So really good pointers from him for sure. Get the word out there about that one for you guys. So let me know how you guys are managing your storage. If you have any tips, I will be sure to highlight them in videos. Be sure to post a comment down below. It may end up in a video. But guys, thank you so much for the support on the videos. Look forward to more here on Open World Games. And remember, smack that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification icon, and don't forget to follow me out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. We also have Discord. See that all in the description below. But again, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more Fallout 76 and open world gaming goodness. And I will see you back in the wasteland soon enough. Take it easy.